It is a beautiful Monday night in San Francisco, the Golden Gate Bridge. We're at AT Park. It's the Brewers and the Giants, and we're ready for Game 1 of this three-game series. The pitching matchup tonight is Kyle Lohse trying to get things turned around for the home stretch against Chris Heston, who has emerged as one of the top rookie pitchers in all of baseball. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from AT Park. Great to have you with us tonight alongside Bill Schroeder. I'm Brian Anderson. Telly Hughes is our reporter tonight. We start our broadcast tonight with a couple of injury notes. Ryan Braun is a late scratch from the starting lineup with lower back tightness. Adam Lind also out of the lineup. He's dealing with the lower back injury as well. Both are expected to be back in there perhaps tomorrow. So that sets us up with two big bats out of the lineup, Rock, and Kyle Lohse on the mound, and this is an important start for him.
And pretty much puts a little bit more pressure on Kyle Lohse with those two big bats out of the lineup. The Brewers really struggling in Arizona, so Lohse has to come out strong, and the good news is that he's on the road here tonight. His numbers on the road much better than at home, almost 4 runs better as far as an earned run average. Last time out on the road against the Dodgers, very good, and a no decision. 2 runs, 5 innings for Kyle Lohse. Maybe it's the big ballpark that makes him feel a little bit more comfortable. He's given up a lot of home runs, not so many on the road this year.
So Kyle Lohse against Chris Heston. The Brewers coming off back-to-back shutouts will need to get their offense intact. They do enter Chris Davis into the lineup. You see Lohse, he's been much better on the road than at home. Heston has a no-hitter this year for the San Francisco Giants, Rock. And this guy has really emerged as one of the top pitchers in the game.
Yeah, no kidding. The Giants, they say that they don't know where they would be without him. A July earned run average at 132, one of the best in the big leagues. And since he threw that no-hitter on June 9th against the Mets, he's 5-1. He's been outstanding his last 3 starts, 3 runs in his last 3. So Chris Heston is a guy that gets a lot of ground ball outs, not a hard thrower. He's gotten 19 ground ball double plays this year. So the Brewers are going to have to make sure they get the baseball up in the zone early in the count tonight.
First of a 3-game series. Brewers coming off a series loss in Arizona. Got shut out the last 2 days. Telly Hughes will talk about the offense and where they've been. Hopefully they're back tonight out in the Bay.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
The Brewers and Giants, as we welcome you back to AT Park here in San Francisco. I'm Telly Hughes. The Brewers will face one of the hottest teams in all of baseball, particularly at the plate, as the Giants are hitting .332 as a team, winning 11 of their last 12. As for the Brewers, they will look to get back to what they were doing prior to the last 7 road games, and that's swinging the bats a lot better than they had, especially in Arizona. As we take a look at what the Brewers have done, cooling off in Arizona over the weekend, and overall the last 7 road games, the crew has only scored a little under 2.5 runs while hitting .216 as a team, but Craig Counsell is confident things will turn around.
Every baseball game you look at, you get a lot of 2-out hits, there's a good chance you're going to score runs. It's because that's it's really the essence of the game, but it's not going to happen every night. So really getting runners on and sustaining rallies has been, we've done a good job at it for a while now, and didn't happen in Arizona, but like I said, I'm confident it'll continue.
There will be some big bats being swung in the Bay over the next 3 days. Jamie and Davey will have more on one of the Giants' big sluggers after the break.
beautiful ship out there getting ready for some baseball tonight. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Book your stay now. Sun is out, wind is blowing, it is 72 degrees, and that's a bit of news here in July. Normally much cooler this time of year in San Francisco, but it is ideal for baseball tonight. Craig Counsell managing for the first time at AT Park in San Francisco. So far, Counsell 2 games under. The Brewers dropping the last 2 games, being shut out. And we mentioned in our open a lineup change. No Ryan Braun. He was a scratch. We'll have more on that in just a moment. So the Potawatomi batting order looks like Parra, Lucroy, and Gomez. Davis inserted into the lineup. Jeanette, then Segura, and Shane Peterson. His first start as a Brewer at first base. Hernan Perez and Kyle Loesch rounding it out. And Telly with more on Ryan Braun. What do you have?
Well, B.A., I just saw Ryan as he came into the dugout, and I asked, was he okay? And he said, yeah, it just locked up on me really late, actually after batting practice. So that's how late of a scratch Ryan Braun was here tonight. He was all set to go. He said, it locked up on me, and I think I'm getting older now. So we'll see at the tender age of 30, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's right. All right, thanks, Telly. Appreciate that. So Lind and Braun out with back problems, and Gerardo Parra will lead off for the Brewers.
Yeah, Willie gets to be 50. Wants to talk about getting old, but those are 2 big bats out of the lineup as Chris Heston takes them out for the 20th time this year. He's got 2 complete games. One of those a no-hitter back on June 9th against the Mets. He leads all rookies in the National League in wins, strikeouts, and innings pitched. This guy has been outstanding so far this year.
Now the Giants, as Telly mentioned, the hottest team in the game right now. They've won 11 of their last 12, and they are just a game back in the National League West as Parra lines one into right center. A base hit for Gerardo Parra. And the clock seems to be ticking on Parra. How long will he be in a Brewers uniform? That is a major question. There are a lot of teams interested, according to the trade rumor mill. He just keeps on hitting, does Parra.
Yeah, the sinker up a little bit right down the middle of the plate, and you know the rule is that when you're facing a guy with a big sinker, it's good to get to him early before he settles in, even on his home mound.
So Parra extends his hitting streak to 11 games. Here is Jonathan Lucroy now. Not a significant lineup shift outside of Braun being removed, so Counsell pretty much sticks with what he's got other than 3 and 4. The only changes are Gomez moving into the 3 spot and Davis inserted into the cleanup spot. Other than that, everybody in their normal positions. Braun took a full batting practice today, actually swung the bat well during batting practice, and we were down there, didn't think anything of it. It was a bit of a surprise when we got the news that Braun was the late scratch.
Yeah, last thing that Craig Counsell needs to hear after his team got shut out the last couple of days in Arizona. 2 of his best run producers not in the lineup tonight, but both apparently available to pinch hit later on.
There's that comeback sinker by Chris Heston. That's his bread and butter pitch. He's got the sinker that he'll throw on both sides of the plate. He's developed a little cut fastball. This is a guy that the Giants designated for assignment earlier this year when they had, or last year when they had Jeff Francoeur, which made him available to any team in the major leagues, and yet he stuck with the Giants. Now he's a rookie, and he's become one of the more impressive pitchers in the National League, if not the big leagues.
Man, he's won 8 of his last 10 decisions, and as we talked about when we came on the air tonight, he's allowed just 3 runs in his last 3 starts. So he has been throwing the baseball well and been particularly good since he threw that no-hitter.
Lucroy in a 2-1 count. See if Parra's on the move. He's not. Lucroy fouls it away. Count evens at 2-2 now. Got a good crowd here once again. They draw very well here in San Francisco on a Monday night. Still filing in the ballpark. This is a great night to come to the ballpark downtown San Francisco, China Basin. And they have seen their team plow their way back into contention after the Dodgers dropped the weekend games in New York against the Mets. Lucroy, foul, just missed the bag at third base.
And the interesting thing about the Giants is how good their offense has been. Second in the league in runs scored. They're first in batting average, and that's something that's unusual. It's ordinarily, pitching and defense for the Giants, but they're putting together all three of them this year.
3 World Series last 5 years, those even numbered years. So 2015 wasn't supposed to be a year that they were in contention, but they certainly are. Another one to Lucroy. That's in the air to right. Hit pretty well. Back on it is Pence. And he's got it for the out. All the way to the wall. Hunter Pence makes a play for out number 1.
Yeah, you got to hit him to get him out of here unless you get him down the lines. And let's check out the Menards Giants defense. Giants have committed 49 errors this year. That is fourth fewest in the National League. And Nori Aoki, the former Brewer, back in the lineup. A fractured leg. I'm not going to say fibula. It's a leg. First game back.
Yeah,
they've got Hunter Pence back too. Since he's returned, the Giants have been winning a lot.
Pence has only played in 32 games prior to tonight. He has 28 runs batted in, and they do a lot of winning when he is in the lineup. But he has not been in the lineup for a good part of the season. Gomez on the ground, chance to turn it, goes Crawford to panic, over the belt, and a 6-4-3 double play ends the top of the first. Heston puts up a 0. Now Kyle Loesch on the mound in San Francisco. Three-time World Series champion manager. 21st year as a skipper. He had 12 years in San Diego. Actually got fired by the Padres, and he has found new life, turning into a Hall of Fame manager in San Francisco. His batting order today brought to you by Potawatomi. Look at all those gaudy batting averages. Pagan, Panic, Duffy at the top. Buster Posey, Hunter Pence, Brandon Belt in the middle with Brandon Crawford, Nori Aoki, and Chris Heston rounding out the starting 9. A ton of left-handed hitters in there against Kyle Loesch.
Yeah, making start number 21 this year. He's making his 9th start in his career against the Giants. 3-4, a 5.08 earned run average, and that includes a loss this year at Miller Park. Last time out against Cleveland, 5 runs in 5 innings for Loesch, who has been throwing the ball much better on the road this year, posting a 4.45 ERA.
And his first offering is in there for a strike. Angel Pagan leads off for the Giants. A .269 hitter. He's been in and out of the lineup as well. He was in the lineup when the Giants played the Brewers in May. Had a couple of hits in that series. And inside almost hit him. Giants feel like they're finally getting closer to whole once again. They've got Matt Cain back in the starting rotation. They've got Aoki back playing left field tonight. Hunter Pence has returned after a second stint on the disabled list. Giants have won the last 6 games against Milwaukee, scoring 8 runs per game over those last 6. That's a streak the Brewers would like to break. They've been swept in each of their last 2 series. Got swept last year in San Francisco late in the season, and then Bochy's club came into Milwaukee in May and won 3 in a row.
Yeah, that started the downward slide for the Brewers toward the end of the season last year. They went from San Diego here to San Francisco, got swept, and had a tough time getting things back to normal.
They'll pop up out to second base, and Pagan is retired. First out for Kyle Lohse.
Well, let's check out the Menards Brewers defense. The Brewers third in the National League in double plays. They've turned 100 double plays this year. Only the Pirates and the Braves have turned more. Third major league start at first base for Shane Peterson, and first this year, and the first since 2013.
4-man umpiring crew in place. Will Little will call the balls and strikes tonight. The crew chief is Jerry Davis, World Series umpire. He's over at third. Lohse facing Joe Panik. Checks in 8th in the league in batting. Giants have 2 players in the top 8, Panik and Buster Posey, who is 4th in the league. And a very high batting average for a team. Mentioned those 6 games, those 6 consecutive wins for the Giants against the Brewers. They're hitting .347 as a team in those 6 games.
And that's somewhat out of the ordinary for a Giants ball club who rely on pitching and defense. This year they're swinging the bats and getting a lot of production out of Panik and Duffy, 2 guys from the minor league system. Matt Duffy taking over for Pablo Sandoval. This is a team that's playing with a lot of confidence, and why wouldn't you, right? Won the World Series last year. Not too many changes from that group.
Well, they thought they were going to have a huge hole at third base. They signed Casey McGee to play third. That didn't work out. The emergence of Duffy. He's become an everyday player and become a 3-hole hitter, and we'll see him here with Panik at first. First walk issued by Lohse, and now you start to get into the heart of this order, and Duffy has emerged as a great talent, not just at the plate but defensively as well. Shortstop by trade is the everyday third baseman for San Francisco. 9 homers, 46 runs batted in. He's got an on-base percentage of .342, which the Giants feel is going to improve as he starts to know the league better. And hitting .302 to start play today.
Young kid hitting in the number 3 spot in front of Buster Posey. That's a pretty good spot. And then the lineup. Well, it's interesting in watching Kyle Lohse. He's moved from the first base side of the rubber to third. The third base side of the rubber. And some of the things that he and Rick Kranitz have been tinkering around with gives him a different angle into home plate against right-handed batters.
Well, for Lohse at 36 years of age, and a guy who's had a lot of success, especially in the last 5 years of his career, emerging in St. Louis as a very dependable starter, it's back to the drawing board for him, and I'm sure he's trying to find anything that'll give him an edge right now, because it has been a very long, troubling year for Kyle Lohse, who's in the final year of his contract. I think there are a lot of teams out there, contending teams, that are still considering Lohse, but they'd like to see how he pitches here in the last few games before the trade deadline, which is coming up this week on Friday. There's a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike on Matt Duffy.
Well, maybe moving to the other side of the rubber, give him a better angle on that outside corner. And that glove side fastball to right-handed batters.
Backed up a 14-win season with 16 with the Cardinals. And then his 3rd year with the Brewers. Runner was on the move. Duffy fouls it away. Duffy leads all National League rookies in batting average, hitting .302 entering play today. There goes the runner, and a line drive to right. A base hit. Parra gets it back to the infield, not before. Joe Panik ends up at third. Duffy executes the hit and run, and the Giants have runners at the corners in the first inning with Posey coming up.
Yeah, fastball up, and Duffy didn't try to pull it. He hit it hard into right field. Scooter Gennett covering the bag on the stolen base attempt. That one right down the middle of the plate. See Scooter vacating his spot. Not that it would have mattered. That was a line drive in the right anyway. So first and third and one out for San Francisco. They're at it already.
And here is former MVP Buster Posey. Posey pulls it foul. He's having another big year. Posey is fourth in the National League in batting, .328 hitter. Paul Goldschmidt's the league leader at .345. It's conceivable that Posey could win a batting title this year as a catcher. Posey's also tied for third in the league in RBIs. He has 67. Arenado and Goldschmidt lead the league. They are tied with 74. Strike two on Posey. 0-2 the count.
Hitting almost 400 with runners in scoring position. A clutch hitter that doesn't often strike out. He's a tough guy to punch out. Kyle Lose could use one here.
Good block by Lucroy. Keeps the double play in order. Posey does ground into his fair share of double play balls. He has 11 grounded into. Yeah, it was July. Impressive. How about Kyle Schwarber, the rookie? He was in the draft last season. Sitting .423. Got a call up from the Cubs. Posey and Parra on the list. Hottest hitters in July. Loesch looking for a ground ball. The 1-2 in the air. Right field. Parra's got a great arm. Tagging. He is Panik. Throw to the plate on a hop. Panik goes back. Smart move. Giants are very familiar with Gerardo Parra's throwing arm all his time in this division with Arizona. And that's a big out for Kyle Loesch.
Yeah, good pitch by Loesch. Got in on his hands, and Posey jammed himself. And Giants are going to test that throwing arm in right field. You see Gerardo, the way he's able to circle that fly ball, get his momentum toward home plate, and a perfect strike on one hop into Lucroy, an easy hop to handle for him.
Strong and accurate arm, Gerardo Parra. So 2 men are out. Here is the fidgety Hunter Pence at the plate. Giants are glad to have him back. Fits perfectly in this lineup. A lot of patient hitters. What I would consider good textbook fundamental hitters up and down the Giants lineup. And then there's Hunter Pence, who's anything but.
He's not the guy you want to watch if you're teaching your kid how to hit, but it certainly works for him. A lot of movement in the swing, wide open stance. Everything in motion.
Chokes up on the bat. You see that brace that he wears on his left wrist. He was hit in spring training. Giants are playing the Dodgers, and Carlos Frias hit him, and that wrist was broken. Did not return until mid-May, and then started to develop a little tendonitis in the wrist, that same wrist, and went back on the disabled list 3 weeks later. So he hasn't played much this year. Pence has only been around for 32 games.
And the Giants are 24-8 when he's in that lineup. Isn't that something?
That is something.
Talking about a difference maker, right?
5 homers, 28 RBIs in 32 games in the major leagues this season. Loesch is behind him. 2 balls and a strike, first and third. And a wave and a miss way out in front. 2-2.
80 miles an hour for Loesch on this changeup, and Hunter Pence pulls his head way out in front of it. A lot of off-speed pitches for Loesch here in the first inning.
Loesch pitched against the Giants on the 25th of May. Took a loss. 5 runs in 5 1/3 innings. He did have 7 strikeouts in that game. 2-2. Pence lays off. That's the thing about Pence. From one pitch to the next, you know, you look like, all right, I can get him chasing here. He's not seeing the pitch very well, or the release very well. And then he ends up showing great plate discipline. You just never know with him. Runner goes. Payoff pitch on the ground. Right to Segura. And a low throw dug out by Shane Peterson, making his first start at first base as a Brewer. Inning over. Lowe strands a pair in the first. Giants put 2 on in the first inning. First and third with 1 out. Loesch able to get out of it. Brewers had a leadoff single from Parra, but Heston with a double play ball from Gomez to end the top of the first. Here is Chris Davis, late entry into the starting lineup. If you're just joining us, Ryan Braun scratched right before game time tonight with a lower back tightness. So he and Lind are on the shelf tonight. Puts Davis in the lineup. That moved Parra to right field. Well, Davis glad to be back in the lineup after a rough day at the office yesterday. 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. He's had good success against the Giants in 3 games, however. That was prior to his knee injury, a meniscus tear that required surgery and put him on the shelf for 1 month.
Yeah, that was that early season when Chris Davis got off to a really good start, and most of his hits came to right field. Staying back, driving the ball to right field. Just wasn't seeing the ball all that well yesterday. Of course, none of the Brewers really were against Hellickson in yesterday's ball game in Arizona.
Brewers coming off a 3-0 loss to the Diamondbacks. Davis fouls that one off the home plate umpire, Will Little. He's a tough guy, though. Young umpire.
Hey, hot dogs here.
3-2 pitch. Davis back up the middle and a base hit. So Chris Davis singles. Well, he needed to see that one go through. He is aboard back-to-back innings with leadoff hits. Let's see if the Brewers can do something with it this time.
Well, again, did a good job staying back. Yeah, not trying to pull it. Looked like an off-speed pitch from Heston, and able to drive it back through the middle.
Here's Scooter Gennett. Scooter was in the lineup yesterday, was 0 for 3. A lot of 0-fers in yesterday's game. Just 4 hits for the Brewers in that 3-0 loss. Parra, Lucroy, and Braun all had hits, and then Matt Garza had a hit as well.
The Brewers didn't have a hit after the 5th inning yesterday.
Davis takes off. Gennett tries to bunt his way on and fouls it away. Not a bad idea. Davis actually got a great break. He's not a base stealer, but he got a good jump. I think even if Gennett misses that, he's going to steal a base.
I think it surprised Heston. Didn't worry too much about him. Buster Posey's been throwing the baseball well. 38% this year. Above average.
Davis with a leadoff single. Gennett in a 1-1 count. And that ball hit well to right, but right at Hunter Pence for out number 1. Line drive out for Scooter Gennett. Heston is just the opposite of Kyle Loesch. He works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. And when you watch him pitch, he looks like he's throwing a wiffle ball.
Yeah.
He gets as much movement as any pitcher in the game. Interesting. Now he goes over to the third base side of the rubber.
And they're different
with the
with
right-hander
and left-hander,
yeah.
right? That's interesting. You don't see too many pitchers do that. One side or the other.
And he starts him with a breaking ball. Segura takes ball 1. Gene Segura, 275 average this season. Good comeback year for Segura. Got his swing worked out last year, and then went into winter ball and tried to get more power, more load and balance, and all of those little subtle things that allow you to see the pitch just a little bit longer. And if you can see the pitch just a little bit longer, that'll help you avoid swinging at pitches out of the strike zone.
Staying back and working on that load has certainly helped him in driving the ball to the opposite field. It hadn't helped him with the power numbers at all. I don't think the Brewers too much worried about Segura and hitting home runs. They want him to get on base. Get on base, steal some bases, score runs. That's his job.
Segura did homer on the last homestand. He homered against Cleveland. Prior to that, his last 38 hits were singles. But it's translated into a high batting average over a long stretch. So over the last 18 games, he's hitting .366. Just one hit on the road trip thus far, 1 for 11. There's a strike.
Yeah, those are the ones you have to take advantage of right there from Heston. Up in the zone, down the middle. A sinker ball, that's not where he wants it.
No Brewer has ever faced Heston. All getting a look at him for the first time. Segura takes a ball. He showed bunt there. Segura does rack up a number of infield hits. That's why the Brewers feel like he will hit for a high batting average. He could be a 300 hitter because he's going to leg out a lot of hits, and he'll bunt for a lot of hits as well throughout the course of a season. He's a good bunter, and he is very fast. 2-1 the count. Davis still at first, and Segura in the air to right to Pence for out number 2.
Hey, head to Miller Park this Sunday afternoon to see the Brewers battle the Chicago Cubs and get your very own Count Garza Garden Gnome, courtesy of Associated Bank. Call 414-902-4000 or go to brewers.com for tickets.
Oh, it looks like good fun. Little sailing on a Monday night. Bay's pretty quiet. He's the only one out there right now. Coming into McCovey Cove. Shane Peterson takes a strike. Telly Hughes has more on Shane Peterson, who makes his first career start at first base for the Brewers tonight. Telly.
That's right, BA, but that is not an unfamiliar position for Shane Peterson, who played a lot of first base during his minor league days. He was drafted as an outfielder, but once he got into the minor league system, he played a lot of first base, and he said he feels very comfortable over there.
Nice play at second by Panic, and Peterson is robbed of a hit. Plays great D. Joe Panic takes a hit away from Shane Peterson to end the inning. Brewers strand a runner. Bottom of the second. Don't forget, you can tweet us your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag WishDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast. It is brought to you by T-Mobile. Brandon Belt will lead off. Loesch working out of a mess in the first inning. You don't want to get into early jams, but Loesch was able to get through it, retiring Posey and Pence with runners at first and third. You look up and down these Giants hitters, Rock, just gaudy batting averages throughout. Doesn't feel like there's a break anywhere in this lineup until you get to the ninth spot.
Yeah, you're right. That's one of the reasons why they've been so consistent and so good offensively this year. You can't rely on, two or three guys. It's everybody up and down that batting order. A guy like Belt, Crawford having a nice year. They got Aoki back.
Belt in the air to left and almost in the tracks of Chris Davis. He's got it for out number one.
And as always, when you're a good team, you always have some surprises on your ball club, guys you don't expect. You got Duffy at third base. Heston is a 10-game winner, and those are the things that have to happen when you're a contending ball club.
It's a great culture of winning here, and I think a lot of it has to do with Bruce Bochy and his coaching staff. But you look at the pieces they have in place, the veteran guys who have had great success in the postseason and in the clutch. And you have these anchors, right? You have your Buster Posey and Hunter Pence, and have these guys who have had success and know the way around it. As Crawford on the first pitch, lines one out to Davis for out number two. So then you're able to plug in, and the Cardinals are the same way. You're able to plug in some of these young players, but it is impressive how they've been able to hit on so many of their organizational players like Panic and Duffy and even Brandon Crawford going back a couple of years.
And these guys that come up, or even guys that come to the ball club from different teams, they have to fit in. It's not about flash and style with this ball club. I mean, they're pretty understated, every single one of them.
Well, Nori Aoki getting a nice hand as he's introduced. He is just back today, activated from the disabled list. A broken fibula right down the bottom of his leg, down right above the ankle bone. He was hit by a pitch.
And he stayed in the game. Actually ran the bases that day, was in the starting lineup the following day, but during batting practice, this kind of felt like something was wrong. They did an x-ray and they found the fracture.
Missed 28 games. First game back. He's having a terrific season before the injury as he swings and fouls that one away. There's a lot of love before the game with Nori Aoki and the Brewers. Aoki, such a fan favorite with Milwaukee. His career with the Brewers, a couple of seasons, hit 287, moved up and down the lineup. Always a fun guy to be around. And then traded to the Royals. That was a deal that involved Will Smith, bringing Will Smith to the Brewers. A straight up deal and a good trade for both teams. But it did put Aoki in a position to play with a World Series team last year in Kansas City. And then signing a one-year deal with the Giants.
Yeah, a lot of players. We went over to talk to Nori and his interpreter, Kosuke. Good to see both of those guys before the ball game. They're having a good time here in the Bay Area.
Well, Nori always, his English is getting much better, by the way. He doesn't need Kosuke as much as he used to. Said he loved his time in Milwaukee. That one just missed. Loesch was ready to walk off the mound. And the count to 2-2 on Aoki. Fox Tracks had it just off the plate. First 2 men out for Loesch on fly ball outs to left. Here's a 2-2. Right to Jeanette, and Aoki is retired. 1-2-3 inning for Loesch. We head to the third in San Francisco. The Brewers are coming up. We are scoreless. On to the scene here in the National League this year. Chris Heston in our Columbia St. Mary's worth another look. That was strikeout number 11, and that capped off a no-hitter against the Mets at Citi Field in New York. What a moment for Chris Heston. One of 3 no-hitters in the big leagues so far this season. Just had one from Cole Hamels, who was named the National League Pitcher of the Week. And if you want to put some stakes in the ground that you belong in the rotation and you want to throw a no-hitter, that's the way to do it. 110 pitches. Rocky hit 3 batters in that game.
It would have been a perfect game. He didn't walk anybody, but hit 3 batters, and he'll take the no-no. Man, since that time, he has been lights out. He's won, 5 of his last 6 decisions since that no-hitter.
Doesn't do it with overpowering stuff by any stretch. A lot of movement, great command. Giants were able to develop that cut fastball, and that's been a game changer for him as Perez into center field. That's going to fall, a base hit. So Hernan Perez continues to hit. Came in with a batting average of .310, and he's aboard, and 3 consecutive innings with leadoff singles for Milwaukee.
Yeah, the Brewers haven't been able to do anything after that. They figure Kyle Lohse is going to go up there to drop down a bunt. Man, but Perez has been really staying on the baseball well. He got a sinker that was down the middle of the plate. It was down and able to golf it out there in the center field.
Lohse waves and misses on a bunt attempt. Normally pretty good with the bat. Lohse typically gets his bunts down, takes pride in his hitting and his bunting. Do what you can to help yourself. He's also a good defender on the mound. And he bunts out with foul, so it's 0-2 now. Highest batting average. That's a good one. .02 pitch. Lohse pulls the bat back and takes a ball. Lohse has actually been used as a pinch hitter. That's why the batting average differs. His overall batting average of .235 versus his batting average as a pitcher, because he's been used not only as a pinch hitter but also a pinch runner at times. Puts that one in play. That'll work. Heston fires to first for the out. Doesn't get a sacrifice because of a swing, but it works just the same. Hey, a reminder that Fox Sports Wisconsin is giving away great prizes during every Brewers broadcast in July. We're running out of days here. Prizes include Brewers merchandise, Miller Park tours, autograph merchandise, and more. Here's tonight's Watch 'em and Win 'em sweepstakes image. Log on to foxsportswisconsin.com. Click on the Watch 'em and Win 'em banner on the homepage to enter. And if you're not a winner tonight, tune in again tomorrow for another chance. 3 games here in San Francisco, 2 night games and then a day game Wednesday. And then the Brewers start a nice long homestand.
Going to be home a lot in the month of August. That's going to be nice.
Parra back up, top of the order. Only 8 road games in the month of August. Finally, the schedule feels like it balances out. Feels like the Brewers have been on the road a lot, especially early in the season.
And 3 of those road games in Chicago. Go to Chicago with 3 and then come right back home.
Brewers will have the Cubs, the Padres, and the Cardinals coming up on the next homestand. 11 games on the homestand. 1-1 to Parra, and he swings and fouls it away. Gerardo's having a career year. High on base percentage, near .360. He's slugging over .500. Puts his OPS over .860 right now. And a full-time player, thriving with the playing time. Right-handers, left-handers. Even when he does get an occasional day off from the starting lineup, he's contributed as a pinch hitter. He's done everything well this season.
Yeah, getting pinch hits, even going up there against left-handed pitching late in the game and getting base hits. Be a shame to lose him, but I would imagine there's a lot of contending teams that would love to have him.
I think if you're the Brewers, you'd like to trade him, get some pieces back, and then sign him next year.
Right.
If you can. He's going to command a high number, you figure. He's just 28 years of age. It feels like he's been around forever, but He's only 28. Outstanding clubhouse presence by all accounts.
He's serious in that clubhouse too. I mean, he's not a guy that takes part in a lot of the hijinks in that clubhouse. He wants to win. He gets to the ballpark, he gets ready to play and win.
Parra checks in 6th in the league in batting, starting play today. He's got a runner in scoring position. And Parra takes a ball.
When was the last time you used the word hijinks?
It's a good word. That feels like kind of a a generational word. But you can pull it off. You know? It's like your bow tie.
Right. Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can pull off. Hijinks and such. There's a ball down and in. So a walk. Parra will reach for the 2nd time. And now 1st and 2nd for Lucroy.
And that's the thing when you talk to Darnell Coles about Heston, he'll tell you that if that pitch starts a little bit above the knees, it's going to end up down out of the strike zone. You got to make sure he gets it up in the zone early in the count, have him started at the belt. By the time it sinks, it's mid-thigh high, and those are the ones you have to take advantage of.
Well, big spot early for the Brewers, trying to snap a consecutive scoreless streak at 20 innings right now. 1st and 2nd with only 1 out. Lucroy, a .248 hitter starting play today. He's really done well since coming back from the disabled list. Had a dreadful start before he broke his toe, and then spent 5 weeks on the DL. Lucroy hitting .250 with runners in scoring position. He'd like to see that number improve. He's typically been the best the Brewers have had the last couple of years. On the ground to 3rd. Duffy goes to 2nd for 1, and the Giants turn a double play. So the 2nd double play for Chris Heston, and the Brewers come up empty again. Wow, what a night tonight. No score. We head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Beautiful sights and sounds here. Carsoup.com trivia question: who is the only pitcher to hit a home run off Hall of Famer Randy Johnson? There's only been one. It was a Brewer, and it was right here in San Francisco. I remember it well. Giants coming up, bottom of the 3rd inning. We are scoreless. Loesch coming off a 1-2-3 inning. He's retired the last 5. He gave up a walk and a single in the 1st. That was on a hit and run, that base hit by Duffy. Put runners at 1st and 3rd, but Loesch was able to get through it.
The pitcher, Heston, a wave and a miss. Heston getting out of the last inning with a 5-4-3 double play. As if he pitched around Parra to get to Lucroy, knowing he could get a double play.
He's induced 21 double plays. That leads the league.
Wow, and just think, he hasn't even been in the rotation the whole season. He entered the rotation for Matt Cain. In the air to center field. Routine for Gomez.
And you hate to keep piling on the accolades, but he can swing the bat too. Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, North Pole Tavern in Hurley, Wisconsin, if they call the Brewers. In the next 24 hours, North Pole Tavern gets 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets for the 2015 Brewers home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Top of the order here is Angel Pagan, switch hitting center fielder. Pagan's been a big part of their postseason success as well. A lot of rumors out there the Giants are kicking the tires on outfielders around the big leagues. I think now that Nori Aoki is back, though, that relieves some of that anxiety as Pagan sends one upstairs. And look at Jeanette. No help from right field. Jeanette has to go all the way out to make the catch.
Wind took it.
Yeah, that ball just kept carrying, and I think the fact that Jeanette called it so early, Parra just laid off.
Right. Well, the wind's blowing out toward right center and kept pushing that ball further and further into the outfield. Surprised Scooter, but he's able to make the catch.
That was a good play. Wasn't pretty, but he made the catch in the second out of the inning.
No style points in baseball.
Just put it down. It's hard to know what the wind does here. It does whip a little bit. We were down on the field before the game, and the wind, the flags were blowing out like they are now, but you could kind of feel the wind across, like into your face, standing on the first base dugout. You could feel it coming in a little bit. Slap to left. Right there is Davis, and Loesch with a couple of quick 1, 2, 3 innings, and he's retired 8 straight. Gomez will lead the way when we come back. We're headed to the fourth, scoreless at AT&T Park.
And kick off your weekend in style with another free shirt Friday at Miller Park this Friday at 7 o'clock as the Brewers take on the Chicago Cubs, and all fans in attendance get a free Brewers t-shirt courtesy of Experience Fitness. Visit Brewers.com to reserve your spot today.
Here's Carlos Gomez leading the way for the Brew Crew. A couple of double plays turn to end innings for Chris Heston. And he slings one in, a breaking ball, and Gomez unable to check his swing. Gomez in a hole 0-2.
It's basically 3 pitches for Heston. The big sinker, the breaking pitch that he just threw to Carlos could have gone either way there, and the changeup. They say he's got a slider and a curveball, but I think they're very similar pitches.
Wicked
break
movement
right
on everything. There aren't many that can make the ball move like that. Wow. Comeback sinker. Gomez had given up on it. Well, I don't want to throw the Greg Maddux comparison out there for Chris Heston, but that's what Maddux used to do all the time.
Yeah.
That comeback sinker that looks like a ball and then
look
zips
how much
back
that
in.
pitch moves. I mean, it started about 2 inches off the corner and then came back and had plenty of the plate. That's a good analogy, the wiffle ball. I mean, the way the wiffle ball used to move, particularly when you had some wind, and that's how much that those pitches move for Heston.
And Davis unable to check his swing.
And he's a big kid too, 6'3", 195 pounds, 27 years old. Only 4-4 at home this year. 6-1 on the road.
Well, he made his first start on April 8th. Put him in the rotation for Matt Cain. Cain's back in now. Cain's on the mound tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Ryan Vogelsong is in the bullpen as Davis swings and misses. Posey has to secure it at first. And Davis is out. That'll be a strikeout for Heston. So back-to-back Ks to start the 4th inning. His first 2 strikeouts of the game. Here is Scooter Gennett. First ball swinging, and that's fair, just inside the bag. And that'll be a quick 3-up, 3-down inning for Chris Heston. To the bottom of the 4th. Giants are coming up. Go scoreless as we head to the bottom of the 4th. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Check it out. That's a Brad Weimer photo if there ever was one. Got a little Star Wars action. Don't forget to tweet us your strongest fan photo, hashtag #WisDataStrongFan, to play along with us. Brought to you by T-Mobile. Kyle Loesch back at it. He's retired 8 straight. Had back-to-back base runners in the first, Panik and Duffy. Duffy has the lone hit, and he will lead off in this 4th inning. Well, from utility player to platoon player to three-hole hitters. He sends that one deep to right. Parra can't make the catch. And Duffy is into second base with a double. It looked like Gerardo was there, but he missed it.
That's the wind again, I think. I mean, the ball kept getting pushed further and further up against that wall by the wind. The wind's blowing out in that direction. Duffy gives it a pretty good ride. That's his second hit. Off the bat, it looked like it might have been a routine fly ball, but as it got out to right field, it fools Parra. He's not sure where he is and probably should have had it. Doesn't even hit the wall. On a bounce, it gets the wall, I think, and Gerardo not able to get there in a leadoff double.
And here is Buster Posey with a runner at second base, and he lays the bat out there, fouls it away. He was fooled. Duffy just keeps on hitting. 2 more hits tonight. A leadoff double here in the 4th. And Posey on the ground. It's going to move the runner. So it is a productive out. But Posey advances Duffy to third base. The first out of the inning for Loesch.
We're talking about team concepts, right? Your former MVP just giving himself up and advancing Duffy over to third base with less than 2 outs. Bruce Bochy baseball. A sure Hall of Fame manager.
Yeah, no question. 3 World Series titles. 21 years as a manager. He's one of the best ever. Hunter Pence takes a ball. Pence grounded out his first time up. Grounded to Segura. Brewers have their infield in a scoreless game. Bottom 4. Pence takes it inside. So one thing about the Giants lineup with Pence back in it, can't really work around a guy at this part of the order because you've got talented hitters with pop coming up. Brandon Belt and Brandon Crawford. So if you're going to work around a guy, you do so at your own risk.
Right.
You're trying to set up a double play opportunity.
They're trying to get a double play, but Loesch, most of his outs have been in the air. He's only got 3 ground ball outs tonight.
Hey, he doesn't chase. Hoping he would, he does not. Now it's 3-1. It is impressive how Pence, with 2 stints on the disabled list, has been able to hit so well with so much inactivity, not seeing big league pitching. Every time they drop him back in, he hits.
A little easier for veterans, and he's not that old. He still has the youth to be able to bounce back.
It looked like Loesch was working around him, see if he could get him to chase, but now he's got to bear down with a power hitting lefty coming up in Brandon Belt. You got 3 straight lefties this part of the order: Belt, Crawford, and Aoki, which is not such a bad thing for Loesch because he does have a good changeup and he'll use him a lot with left-handed hitters.
He's been using it against everybody tonight.
A lot of breaking stuff for Loesch. And a swing and a miss. There was the changeup. Started him by pulling the string, and Belt way out in front of it.
Yeah, Belt's only grounded into 2 double plays this year.
First and third. Second time the Giants have had him at the corners. And Belt off the end of the bat into right center field. Parra will make the catch. Heck of a play. And flings it over to first. A run scores. Duffy is in on a sacrifice fly by Brandon Belt. That was a beautiful catch by Gerardo Parra.
Well, covering a lot of ground out there, and he has to win the battle. He's got to make sure he accounts for the wind. You can see Gomez coming over. Parra calls it, and instead of throwing it into second base, he tries to get Pence going back to first. Pretty good athletic move right there.
Really was good play. Probably would tell you he should have made the catch on Duffy. Makes a great catch here on a batted ball off the end of the bat of Belt. So 2 outs. A run is in. Here's Brandon Crawford. And if you're Loesch and you close him out right here in the 4th inning, then you feel good about the inning. A leadoff double. Posey did his job advancing the runner. And then the Giants get the sac fly. Good team offense. Team baseball. It's not that Posey's trying to hit the ball on the ground and give himself up. He's trying to drive the ball, but he's trying to drive it from the second base bag over to right field.
Right,
he wants to hit it hard.
That has to be your approach. You're thinking about driving one into the gap out there. You're right, but if you don't, at least you advance a base runner. The team concept that we've been talking about, that these Giants incorporate each and every guy, even their number 3 hitter. I should say number 4 hitter Buster Posey. You don't see too many number 4 hitters do that.
Crawford on a 3-0 pitch deep into right center, and it is gone. A home run, a bomb out of here. Wow, number 15 for Brandon Crawford, a 2-run shot to the deepest part of the ballpark, and the Giants lead 3-0.
And that's what we've been talking about, length in the lineup. The number 7 hitter. And he knocks it out of here on a 3-0 count, right down the middle, 90 miles an hour for Kyle Loesch. I was surprised that he was swinging on 3-0. And there it is, a 2-seamer that stayed right down the heart of the plate, and Crawford hit it out of here. Just barely able to sneak it over that wall out there in the right center.
Three runs are in. Here is Aoki. Oh, those home run balls Loesch has given up this year. Never experienced anything like this at any time in his career.
Yep, 24 home runs allowed for Kyle Loesch. And that was a big one, especially with the way the Brewers offense has been lately, and the fact that Braun and Lynn both out of the lineup.
Loesch has given up home runs in 11 of his last 12 starts, and has had a number of multi-home run games. Just been one of those years for Loesch. He just can't seem to get loose. He told us about a month ago, it feels like everything's wrong. Everything's coming out of his hand wrong. As Aoki grounds out, the inning is over, but big damage done. Brandon Crawford on a 3-0 pitch with a 2-run homer, and the Giants are up 3-0. Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. By Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. And by Hupy and Abraham. 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. Brandon Crawford, little separation in the fourth inning. A 3-0 fastball. He sends one out of here. His club leading 15th homer. And a 3-run Giants fourth. To the fifth now. Gene Segura leads off. He'll be followed by Shane Peterson, then Hernan Perez. Heston with a couple of strikeouts last inning. Has had 2 double plays to end innings tonight. A late bloomer. He's from Florida, Palm Bay, Florida. Made it to the big leagues last year at age 26. Got in just 3 games. A little tapper. Segura, he is out. Nice play there by the Giants pitcher for out number 1.
Hey, the Goo Goo Dolls are coming to Miller Park on Saturday, August 15th, and you can see them perform a free post-game concert following the Brewers game with the Philadelphia Phillies. To reserve your spot, go to brewers.com/concerts. The last of the 3 concert series at Miller Park this year.
Are you going to have a little rock party in the booth like you've had for the others?
I haven't decided yet.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
to take a poll in the booth to see who wants to stick around.
Take a temperature.
Yeah.
Catered. It's a big invite, by the way. All the crew is anxious to see who makes a cut because it's only selected members that make it in.
Well, you know, it's anybody that wants to come up is invited.
It's like the Rock's version of the velvet rope.
You don't need an invitation. Just come on up.
All right.
It's your booth too.
Not really. No plaque. There's a couple of pictures in the booth making fun of me. But the booth has been much improved since the replica of your Wall of Honor plaque has been installed.
I thought that was a good spot for it.
That's very nice. It's going to bring the wall down, but
just kind of remind you who's in charge.
Peterson draws the walk. Yeah, it reminds me of going into the boardroom and, you know, the longtime CEO, and it's very intimidating. Very intimidating.
Just want you to keep you honest.
Here's Hernan Perez now with 1 out.
What we got to do is got to get Augies in there too.
Well, that's a good point. He's a Wall of Honor member.
Fox Sports Wisconsin reporter. What would you call us?
Not reporters.
Not reporters.
No.
Analysts?
Former players.
Analysts.
How about that? Social butterflies. I feel like when we walk in the booth, you played your college ball at Clemson. They had a great tradition of tapping the rock, which is a real rock. We should do the same. Ground ball to short, and the Giants have it all going so far. That is the 3rd inning-ending double play turned in by Chris Heston. for Chris Heston. And the Giants are coming up. Carsue.com trivia. Who is the only pitcher to hit a home run off Hall of Famer Randy Johnson? That would be Gallardo right here at AT Park. That was Johnson's last year in the big leagues. And there it goes. Right down the line. I remember it well. That was early in the season. That was the first series of the year in 2009. Gallardo is having a great year for the Rangers. And having a career year, as a matter of fact. He's got an ERA under 3, and there's been a lot of talk that Gallardo might be on the move. Rangers are in a bit of the fringe territory right now. Are they in it or not? Heston out to Jeanette. And the Giants pitcher is retired. He's 0 for 2.
Texas coming into play 47 and 50. 7.5 games behind the Angels.
It's got to be tough on general managers right now. Teams that are around 500 that you feel like, you know, with one good week, a week like the Giants are having right now, you're back in it. But man, if you don't make the moves when you have to, and Gallardo's a free agent at season's end, that could leave you in a tough spot.
Let's see the Rangers' home record this year. 16 and 26.
Wow.
Fewest wins of any team in the big leagues at home this year.
Now, we've heard a lot of rumors concerning the Rangers involved in the Cole Hamels deal. See the Yankees winning again tonight, beating Texas. Another home loss for the Rangers. And if you're wondering why the Rangers would make a run at Cole Hamels, well, Cole Hamels is under contract for a number of years. Could be up to 4 more. And they're trying to build for the future. The Rangers do get Yu Darvish back next season, so you put Hamels and Darvish in the rotation together. Now you're cooking.
Yeah, speaking of guys, you know, you're talking about Hunter Pence, you know, all that time without facing big league pitching and being productive. How about Alex Rodriguez this year?
Crazy.
Unbelievable. Missed all last year.
He homered today.
He got 9 home runs this month. Yeah.
So he is one of 4 players now, Alex Rodriguez, to have homered in the big leagues as a teenager and as a 40-year-old. With his home run today as a 40-year-old.
Pretty good.
There's a strike to Pagan. He didn't like the call.
Who are the other 3?
Well, you know one of them. He was a Brewer. Came up as a Brewer. Take a guess. Think about Brewers teenagers.
I don't think it wasn't Robin. He didn't play that long, did he?
Not Robin. Pagan on the ground to short. And Segura makes a play.
You got to give me some time on that one.
All right. I sure will.
How about the other 2?
Hold that thought, Rock. Because I need to remind you that we don't want you to miss Fox Sports Live. They'll bring you the news and highlights from around Major League Baseball, plus the latest from the entire world of sports. Nightly Fox Sports Live. It's on Fox Sports 1 and it streams live on Fox Sports Go.
How long was this guy a Brewer?
Briefly, not long. Shortstop. But
he started with the Brewers?
I'll give you a hint. He hit I think it was his 500th home run against the Brewers.
Okay, Sheffield then.
Gary Sheffield, right. He did that as a member of the Mets. There's another ground ball to short. And this is more Loesch-like. Couple of ground balls to end the inning. We'll get you those other 2 answers after the break.
San Francisco. Time to check in with the Brewer community. Partner with the Brewers Wives in support of the Salvation Army. Feed the Kids summer lunch program by purchasing an exclusive Brewers Wives shirt made especially for that special lady in your life. Shirts are available in the team store by Majestic at Miller Park.
All right, Telly, thanks. Here we go to the 6th inning. Loesch batting against Heston, who is on his game tonight. 3 double plays. The Brewers do have 3 hits. Heston has walked a batter as well. Matter of fact, he's walked 2, but he has wiped out 2 of those walks with double plays and 1 of the hits.
Yeah, Brewers need to get a run on the board. It's been a while for them.
23 consecutive scoreless innings by the offense now. This team was having a huge July offensively as Loesch breaks his bat and grounds out for the first out of the 6th.
One of the hottest hitting ball clubs in the National League coming into this road trip. Scoring runs, getting hits. How many 10-hit games did they have in that one stretch? Consecutive, I think it was a 6 or 7.
7, yeah, 7 in a row. 8 of 9.
And having a difficult time putting runners in scoring position the last couple of days.
At the plate, presented by Wendy's, Gerardo Parra. On base twice, single and a walk. So we're still sitting on our cliffhanger trivia, our trivia, not the carsoup.com trivia.
Right.
Alex Rodriguez homered today against the Rangers, becoming the 4th player to homer as a teenager and a 40-year-old. So we got one of them out of you. Gary Sheffield. I believe that was the teenage home run was as a Brewer.
Right.
The 40-year-old home run was as a Met.
Yeah, he started his career with the Brew Crew
as a shortstop.
Right.
So the other 2, you got to go way back. One of the greatest players of all time. And
guy like Honus Wagner in that era.
I mean, that's kind of that. He was Honus Wagner's rival.
Ty Cobb.
Ty Cobb, right. Wasn't for the Tigers. Ty Cobb debuted as a teenager for the Philadelphia A's. Oh, I beg your pardon. He finished as a Philadelphia A. His teenage home run was as a Tiger.
Yeah.
His 40-year-old home run was as a Philadelphia A. That's right. As Parra walks again. 3rd time he's been on tonight. So I got one more, and I don't think I know the 3rd one. Or the 4th. Well, the 3rd one other than Rodriguez.
Yeah.
The 3 that had it before Rodriguez did tonight.
I was just giving the answer.
Yeah.
Rusty Staub.
Ah. See, I would have never have gotten
Me either.
the
No.
Grand Orange.
That's a good question.
And that reminds me of some barbecue in Baltimore, and that makes me hungry now. Rusty Staub. Staub hit his first home run as an Astro, 1963, and then as a 41-year-old hit his last home run as a Met. That was the only home run he hit that year.
See what happens when you mention Alex Rodriguez's name?
You put him in historical context. I am amazed at what Rodriguez is doing this year. I never thought he'd be this kind of player again.
Well, maybe he'd get off to a good start and then fizzle out at his age, and he just keeps hitting.
And the Yankees are in first place in the American League East. A strike to Lucroy. Matter of fact, today is Rodriguez's 40th birthday. His first home run came as a Mariner as an 18-year-old. Rodriguez had 5 home runs before he turned 20.
Yeah, he and his dad played on the same team.
Griffey.
That's Griffey. I'm sorry. You're right. What am I thinking? Yeah, Ken Griffey and his dad, Ken Griffey. That was against the Angels. I was there for that. Off of Kurt McCaskill.
That's amazing to play in a major league game with your son.
Right.
Same outfield. 2-1. Lucroy takes a strike. It reminds me of our days, our early days together, Rock, when we used to go to the various establishments after the game and on a sponsor deal, and we would do trivia.
You would actually do the trivia.
And it went a little bit like this. Rock would come in and everybody would cheer, and then he'd tell me to go stand up on the bar and give away stuff and do trivia, while he went over in the corner and hammed it up with all of his buddies.
We all have to know our role.
Oh man, those were the days. Parra takes off and Lucroy fouls it back.
Yep, our buddy Keith Reed and the Miller Brewing Company. We had some good times.
Yeah, we did. We'd finish the game and then we'd jump in a car and we'd go to some establishment somewhere all over the Milwaukee area, and we'd get there and everybody would be happy, and Rock would say, "All right, here's my new partner, and take it away." They'd be bored to death with trivia. I think that was all a setup.
You did well. You really did a good job.
You were always having the best time in the whole bar. (3-2). Parra goes, and Lucroy into the gap in left center. That is going to go to the wall, and Parra round third. He will score. And finally, the Brewers get one on the board. First run since Friday night in the 9th inning in Arizona. Lucroy with an RBI double, and it's 3-1 Giants.
No pressure off now. Let's see if the Brewers can tie this baby up. There was a mistake by Hester. He left it up, middle in, and Lucroy able to find the gap, and Robert Parra able to score easily running on the pitch. And the Brewers finally on the board. 6th inning here tonight.
Scoreless streak ends at 23. Gomez with Lucroy at second. 3-1 Giants. Gomez with a big swing and a miss.
It's that roundhouse breaking ball from Heston. Doesn't have a whole lot of downward movement. It breaks quite a bit from right to left.
Powerball home run leaderboard. Gomez has hit his way onto the list with 8 home runs. Braun leading the way with 18. Braun and Lynn, the top 2 home run hitters out of the lineup. Back tightness tonight. Gene Segura missed a game yesterday with a sore throat. And the Brewers are having a hard time getting their lineup intact. Lucroy at second. Here's a 1-2. Gomez in the air, right center. It is slicing, and Pagan will run it down. Lucroy tags. Nice running catch by Angel Pagan. Second out of the inning.
Yeah, a little double clutch by Carlos Gomez. He waited back on that curveball. The curveball had more of a downward break to it than the one before. More of a slider rotation on it, but Gomez hit it hard, but able to make the catch out there was Angel Pagan. He covered a lot of ground.
Chris Davis now with 2 away. It's a big run to pick up at third base, and a swing and a miss.
Pretty similar styles for the Brewers, facing Hellickson yesterday and now Heston. Same stuff, sinkers, change-ups, relying on command, and both of them throwing the baseball pretty well. You would think that after watching Hellickson or facing him yesterday, it'd be an advantage to see a guy with similar stuff, but it hasn't turned out that way.
Davis into center field, a base hit, and in to score is Jonathan Lucroy. That's a key hit for the Brewers. Makes it 3-2 Giants. 2-out RBI single for Chris Davis.
And 2 hits into center field for KD, and you see the way he's able to stay back. That ball was moving in on him, had some tail to it, but able to bang it hard into center field. So picking up Jonathan Lucroy, who was at third base.
Pitching coach Dave Righetti is out. A reassuring visit for Chris Heston.
Brewers about hit the Giants 5-3.
Rally cheese. Got to get a selfie in there with the rally cheese. Imagine the world without selfies. All that humor, all those people walking into poles and moving vehicles and whatnot.
Stopping, dead in the sidewalk and running into them.
Here is Jeanette and a check on Davis. Remember earlier in the game with Davis at first and Jeanette at the plate, Davis took off. Jeanette tried to bunt his way on. Got activity in that Giants bullpen. Hunter Strickland was loosening. And a swing and a miss by Jeanette. Brewers have 2 here in the 6th inning to make it 3-2. The Giants scored all 3 of their runs in the 4th. A 2-run home run by Crawford with 2 outs in that inning. Fly ball slicing towards left center, and Aoki makes a catch. The inning is over, but the Brewers get a couple. Jonathan Lucroy with a bullet into the gap in left center. Parra scored from first, and then Chris Davis with 2 outs delivers Lucroy 2 runs in. The scoreless streak is over. 3-2 Giants. Twice in the top of this 6th inning. And a reminder, Fox Sports Wisconsin wants you to dive into fun at Noah's Ark Water Park. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com. Get half off admission with the purchase of full price admission. Visit foxsportswisconsin.com take a ride, Rock. We might be able to sneak that in. One of our off days on the homestand.
Head to the water park.
Yeah, you and I get the Speedos out, go hit the water park.
Weather's been nice back in Milwaukee. Of course, it always is when we're on the road.
Matt Duffy leads off, and a fly ball left field. That'll stay in for Davis. And the first time that Loesch has been able to retire Matt Duffy. One bad inning tonight thus far. Loesch giving him 3 in the 4th on 2 hits and a walk. Here's Buster Posey, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Brewers are 1-3 on this road trip. Lost 3 of 4 to the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, low scoring games in Arizona except for game 1. Good pitching in that series.
Posey back up the middle. Right there is Jeanette on a hop, and he makes a play, and Kyle Loesch had that one pass right in front of his face. But well positioned at second base by Jeanette. That was a good swing by Posey.
Yeah, Posey down in the end just a little bit, a little spin on it, but Jeanette able to handle it. Yeah, it'd be nice for Loesch to have a quick 6th after his team got him to within 1 run.
2 outs. Here is Pence. Loesch's spot due up 4th in the 7th. Counsell would love to get him through this inning, get some activity on the bases. Pence takes low and away. Jeremy Affeldt is on his way to the bullpen. Veteran left-hander. Wonder if Bochy will make a move here. Heston is through 6 innings, 2 runs. Right now in line for the win.
Ordinarily, when you see your left-hander, your veteran guy get up this early in the ball game, it means he's probably going to be coming in. The Brewers have Peterson up 2nd in the 7th inning.
And that one's going to sneak back through the middle, a base hit. Right off the end of the bat, but Pence able to push one through, and a single with 2 away. Base runner for Brandon Belt. That time the Brewers had Segura in the hole between 3rd and short, so that opened up a lot of space.
Yeah, with all the off-speed pitches that Loesch has been throwing, you would figure that they'd be pulling the baseball, but Pence able to wait back and bang it through the middle.
Shift is on for Belt. He had a sac fly in the 4th inning. Fly ball to right. Scored the first run, and then Crawford hit the 2-run homer.
You would think with all the curveballs and changeups that Loesch has been throwing that Hernan Perez would be a busy man tonight, but he has not had a ground ball. Right-handed hitters out in front of that off-speed stuff.
In the air, center field. Gomez on the run. Gomez at the track, and he makes the catch. Carlos Gomez got a great jump and runs it down to end the inning. Long, loud out by Belt. Heck of a play by Gomez. And Loesch does put up a 0 in the 6th after the Brewers get a couple of runs in the top half. The Gold Glover Gomez running one down. Brewers coming up in the 7th. With activity in the Giants bullpen. Gene Segura leads off. Got a left-hander due up next, Shane Peterson. And a spinner in there for a strike. 3-2 Giants. Giants got 3 in the 4th. Brewers with 2 in the 6th. Neil Cott's on his way to the mound in the bullpen. On a night when the Brewers are without Adam Lind and Ryan Braun, both out with back tightness. Word is from batting practice that Lind is available to pinch hit, and they're expecting him in the lineup tomorrow. Swing and a miss. Segura strikes out. Heston put that one on a dime inside. And down goes Segura.
Yeah, that one had some downward movement. Not only the tailing fastball, but it had some sink on it. He's got good command both sides of the plate. And here it is. You can see the way he lets go of that baseball on the side of it. Yeah. And good movement going down as it gets to the hitting zone.
Just tumbling down and in. Here's Peterson. I think that strikeout or that out to Segura allows Heston to continue in this game. If Segura reaches, I think Bochy's ready to bring Affeldt in, but right. Now that he does have the first out, Affeldt has stopped throwing.
Well, you're not going to see a left-handed batter, for a couple of hitters. Of course, you got the pitcher spot coming up, and I guess if Lind pops out of the dugout, you might see Affeldt in the game.
Peterson getting playing time tonight at first base. There's a called strike 3. Buckled him up on that comeback sinker, and Peterson is out. Back-to-back Ks. Gives him 4. 2 quick outs in the 7th inning. This guy's impressive.
Boy, out here with a purpose. Check it out. We've seen this a couple of times. That one had plenty of the plate. Started off the inside corner, and then able to find its way down the middle.
Yeah, it's so hard to pull the trigger on a pitch like that. Perez, first ball swinging, ranging over is Crawford, and Heston is through 7. Probably be his last inning. We'll see. 3-2 Giants. First rewind. Brandon Crawford with a 2-run home run. That came on a 3-0 pitch. They call that Triples Alley out there, but not this time. Crawford goes deep. A 3-run fourth, but the Brewers come back in the 6th. Jonathan Lucroy with an RBI double scoring Parra, and then Davis a 2-out RBI single that scored Lucroy. And our AT U-Verse rewind sets us up for the bottom of the 7th. 3-2 Giants. Chris Heston. High fives all around after working a 1-2-3-7. 7 innings, 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. And we'll see. His spot is due up third here.
And with all the high fives, you figure that's going to be it for him. We'll see who Bruce Bochy brings out when the pitcher spot comes up.
Well, Bochy does have the bullpen active, so all those signals would lead you to believe that Heston's out. Hunter Strickland getting loose for the 2nd time tonight. Crawford takes a strike from Loesch. Loesch trying to hang around as long as he can to get his offense back in gear, and it figures that Loesch, if he gives up a base runner, is probably coming out. Neil Kotz is loosening in the bullpen. So Counsell's going to give him a chance to have a clean inning and take this one to the 8th.
Well, you've got 2 left-handers starting the inning too, so surprising that Kotz isn't in there right now. Of course, the bottom of the order up, but Crawford does have the homer.
I think this is an example of how you manage a little differently when you're out of the race versus when you're in the race. 2 balls and a strike. 3-1 now. Brandon Crawford, among the regulars in their lineup tonight, has the worst batting average, and he's hitting .268. He is the club leader in home runs. This is a relentless lineup. They've really turned themselves into a terrific offense. Crawford draws a walk, and that might get Craig Counsell moving in that dugout. Let's see here. He's got Kotz ready in the bullpen. The left-handed hitting Aoki coming up, who's 0 for 2 against Loesch tonight. It's almost clockwork for Counsell. When he's got a hard decision to make, that hat comes off every time. Yeah. And he's going to let it ride here.
Well, perhaps thinking that Aoki is going to be up there to bunt. We'll see. Maybe bunt for a base hit.
1-run game. Aoki returning from the DL. That one's in the air, center field. No problem for Gomez for the first out of the inning. Just talking to Counsell during his time as manager, he's a fascinating guy in that he's very comfortable in the decisions that he makes, and he makes no bones about the fact that he plays hunches. It's not always by the book.
Nothing wrong with that.
He said ultimately, we're talking about the bullpen. He goes, ultimately, I'd like to get to the point where we don't have a closer, a setup man, a 7th inning guy. We've gotten too role oriented in the bullpen. He goes, you can understand with Frankie Rodriguez being the closer, and he's already kind of done that with Will Smith and Jeremy Jeffress. He wants the right pitcher in the right matchup. That one's in the gap, left center. Gregory Blanco on the first pitch sends one to the wall. They're going to send the runner Crawford. The throw to the plate is late, and Blanco, pinch hitting, drives in the 4th run.
Well, maybe just pushing a little bit too far with Kyle Loesch. You had Kotz up and ready in the bullpen. You got to figure he's going to be in now. And you got Angel Pagan coming up. Well, the pinch hitter Blanco doubling on the first pitch. It was a curveball that he left up in the strike zone. Up out over the plate. Blanco goes right with it and drives it into the gap. That's pretty good speed by Crawford to be able to score. Pretty good throw in from Gomez out there in the left center.
And the manager agonizing over that one. He's going to let it ride one more batter with the switch hitter Pagan coming up. You got the left-hander Panic due next. 4-2 Giants now. Runner at second, one away. Now Michael Blazek on his way down to the pen. Strike, 1-1. Pagan has struggled with runners in scoring position this year. Just 238 overall. Runner goes, Blanco. The throw to third. The tag is not in time. Blanco steals third base. That's a big steal with one out.
They had a walking lead and just took off. Lowe's never slowed him down. And now the Brewers going to have to bring their infield in. He had a terrific jump. And no chance at third base.
Perez hoping he'd overslide the bag. He did not. Pinch hit, double and an RBI for Blanco. He steals third. He's there with one out. 4-2 Giants lead it. Fifth stolen base of the year for Blanco. Infield in. 2 balls, 1 strike on Pagan. Yeah, he doesn't chase. So you got the left-hander Joe Panik due next. Council has let it ride with Kyle Loesch with a bunch of lefties coming up.
I guess you don't bring in Kotz to face Pagan to turn him around. He's a much better right-handed hitter. Hitting .343 from the right side, .241 left-handed.
Hitters count 3-1. And that one's on the ground. Oh, what a play. Goes to the bag for the out. Shane Peterson. Heck of a play at first base. Hasn't started at first base in over 2 years. Had just 2 starts at first base in the big leagues with Oakland in 2013.
It wasn't much of a lead by Blanco down there at third base, and I thought I saw Pagan kind of peek down there at third saying, why weren't you running? I mean, he takes off right away. I mean, didn't have much of a lead to start with, not a secondary lead either. Our Marshfield Clinic shining moment of the game right here for the time being saves Kyle Loesch a run. That wasn't very good base running by Blanco at all.
Well, Council will make the move here. Kotz coming in. We'll take a timeout with a pitching change. brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light Pilsner. Cheers, it's Miller time. And by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. A pitching change. Neil Kotz ready to go against Joe Panik. 2 outs, runner at third. Great play by Shane Peterson to save a run. Loesch is out. Peterson looking comfortable over at first base. And Panik takes a strike.
And they got to finish it off. Kotz last pitched yesterday against the Diamondbacks and retired the only batter that he faced. 41st appearance, and look at the earned run average for Kotz, all the way down to 343.
Giants lead by 2 now. Panik doesn't bite. He's 0 for 2. Had a walk in the first inning. And Loesch frustrated he couldn't get through that inning. Craig Counsell gave him a lot of leash to try to get him through the 7th. There's a swing and a foul.
Man, a lot of times you walk the leadoff hitter like that this late in the game, that's going to be it for you. Craig Counsell electing to keep him in there. He got out Oakey, but Blanco on the first pitch doubles in the run. A lot of left-handers coming up, and Craig Counsell stuck with his right-hander out there.
2-2 to Panik. 2 outs in the inning. Try it again. Runner at third. 2-2 pitch. Fouls another one off.
Well, probably one and done for Neil Kotz. You got 3 right-handers coming up. Michael Blazek getting loose.
Even if he retires him, he'll be out. Pitcher spot due to lead off the top of the 8th for the Brewers. Now down 2 runs. Brewers got it within a run with 2 in the 6th. Giants have scored in this 7th inning. Another 2-2 coming, and it misses down and in. Full count. Matt Duffy due next, who has 2 hits tonight. Full count. And did he go? Yes, he did. Luke Croy slaps the tag on him to secure it. Neil Kotz with a strikeout to end the inning. Giants get a run. Brewers now down 2. Right-hander Hunter Strickland in the game. 4-2 San Francisco. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. We're back at it tomorrow. 8:30 is airtime in the Central Time Zone. Matt Cain and the return of Willie Peralta tomorrow. Peralta's been out for a couple of months with an oblique injury. So everybody looking forward to the return of the hard-throwing Peralta. It's got a chance to be a good matchup tomorrow night. Business at hand tonight. The Brewers are now down 2. Hunter Strickland is on to pitch. You see his numbers this year. He's been excellent out of the bullpen. And Craig Counsell is going to hit Martin Maldonado to start this inning.
Well, again, a little bit short on the bench. I mean, maybe a couple of these guys aren't available. Trying to get something going. Strickland can get it up there at 99 miles an hour. You saw the strikeout. Big strikeout totals for Strickland, and has not allowed a home run this year.
Top of the order due next. You got Parra coming up, then Lucroy. So Maldonado gets a rare pinch hit at bat in a leverage moment.
Yeah, Maldonado. You got Hector Gomez on the bench. Ryan Braun, he's questionable, and Adam Lind on the bench.
Who's questionable as well.
Yeah, you might wait to use Lind when you can use him in a run producing situation. You want to waste Lind as a leadoff hitter.
On 0-2. Missed barely.
And 98 miles an hour, back-to-back pitches at that velocity. And called up at the end of May.
Got him. Maldonado strikes out. Strickland bringing the heat for the K to start the 8th inning.
Hey, this summer you can see both the Brew Crew and the Zoo for one low price for just $20. You'll get a ticket to a Brewers game and an adult general admission ticket to the Milwaukee County Zoo, plus a special Brew Crew and the Zoo water bottle. For details, go to brewers.com/zoo.
One away, top of the order now. Here is Parra, who has not been retired tonight. And a single in the first, couple of walks since he scored the Brewers' first run. Snapped their consecutive scoreless streak at 23 as an offense on the double by Lucroy. Giants with 3 in the 4th. Crawford hit a 2-run homer. Brewers got 2 in the 6th. RBIs from Lucroy and Davis. And then the Giants just added 1 in the bottom of the 7th. RBI double by Gregor Blanco, pinch hitting. Blazek continues to throw. If the Brewers should tie or take the lead, you'd probably see Jeffress at that point. Just lightly tossing. One of the few ballparks where the bullpens are in foul territory. Pop up, shallow left. Coming in Aoki for out number 2. First time Parra has been retired. 2 outs in the 8th for Strickland. Well, the Brewers could use a few of these on the Powerball home run count, sitting at 91. This is game number 100 of the season. 91 team home runs for Milwaukee. But they're 2 big home run bats, Adam Lind and Ryan Braun. Braun has 18, Lind with 16. They are both out of the lineup tonight.
The Brewers currently 5th in the National League in home runs. Ryan Braun hit a couple of homers in Arizona.
2 outs, nobody on. Here's Lucroy. And a strike in there. Lucroy with an RBI double last time up. AT&T Park, the toughest to homer this season when you combine the home run totals. And we've had one tonight. Giants have won 5 in a row, 11 of 12. Brewers losing back-to-back games, being shut out twice over the weekend. Giants are just a game back of the Dodgers in the National League West. San Francisco is tied in the loss column with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are off tonight. They've played 2 more games than San Francisco. And those 2 teams with 7 remaining against each other the rest of the year. Strickland, 2 outs, 1-2 on Lucroy. Got him, struck him out. 99-mile-an-hour fastball and a 1-2-3 inning. That was impressive by Strickland. To the San Francisco 8th, Michael Blazek is the next man up for Craig Counsell.
Yeah, 40th appearance for Blazek, a 5-2 record and a 185 earned run average. Has not allowed a home run. Opponent batting average at 185. Last pitched Michael Blazek on Saturday against the Diamondbacks and had a 3-up, 3-down inning.
There's a 3-hit game for Matt Duffy. 3 for 4 tonight. And a leadoff single with Posey coming up. This guy hits every night. Posey is hitless tonight. He's 0 for 3. His ground out in the 4th to second base helped set up a run, though, for the Giants. Advanced a runner to 3rd and then a sac fly. That was the first run of the game. And then Crawford, the next hitter, after Belt's sacrifice fly, hit a 2-run homer. Giants shortstop with 15 home runs, a 3-run San Francisco 4th inning. Then they added one in the 7th. RBI double by Blanco.
Another low-scoring game for the Brew Crew. Last 4 games have been pretty low-scoring. Pitching's been good. Offense just hasn't been able to get the job done.
And Matt Cain tomorrow. Well, Posey certainly has the pop to stretch this one out. And Blazek trying to get one on the ground from Posey. He does have 11 double plays this year. He's a dangerous bat in a spot like this.
Man, not on a pitch like that, though. That was perfect right on the outside corner. Thinking about a stolen base, Duffy 3-0. He's got 3 stolen bases, has not been caught. Not a big running ball club, the San Francisco Giants, except for Aoki.
One ball, 2 strikes on Posey. That's hit hard right field. Going back on it is Parra. And he's got it for the out. Got under the touch. Posey is the first out. And Duffy back to first for Hunter Pence. Pretty light schedule in the big leagues tonight. Had a couple of walk-offs tonight. Chris Bryant of the Cubs had a walk-off beating the Rockies. And Matt Wieters of the Orioles walked off the Atlanta Braves tonight in Baltimore. That was in 11 innings. Just 2 games still in progress. Diamondbacks Mariners in Seattle tonight, 3-2 Arizona, as they head to the bottom of the 8th. Rays beat the Tigers. Detroit continues to struggle. White Sox took down Boston tonight. Kansas City won again, their 60th win of the year. Royals picked up Johnny Cueto yesterday.
Yeah.
He's supposed to start Friday, last I heard.
Yeah, he pitched the day before he got traded.
Royals are the first American League team to 60 wins, joining the Cardinals as the only other major league team with 60 wins. Cardinals have 63. Make it 64. They won tonight. Runner goes. Lucroy's throw to second is late. No, it's out. It's in time. Oh, Jeanette let the ball carry and was able to catch and tag all in one motion.
Well, Bruce Bochy and Matt Duffy think he's safe.
Well, to the naked eye, it looked like he was safe. He looked like he was past the tag, but yeah, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, well, the umpire, Phil Cuzzy, in pretty good position. Yeah, the question is, does Jeanette get him right here? I don't think so. I think he missed him.
It's not even close.
No.
So this one is going to be overturned.
Right here. Does he touch him? Nope, he doesn't. And the interesting thing about that slide, Duffy's lead leg never touches the bag. Watch the way the leg goes up. If Jeanette's able to get him there, he's going to be out.
Yeah.
Because the lead leg was up off the base.
Yeah, you're right. Great camera work, great angles here to see this. Yeah, this looks like it's going to be overturned. Giants fans are just seeing these replays on the big screen. Jerry Davis is the crew chief. Phil Cuzzy, the calling umpire. Jerry Davis will make the call here. He's getting instructions from Chelsea, New York, and the replay center. I hear, next year they're going to have a West Coast Major League Replay Center. So they're going to have one in New York and one here in San Francisco.
Makes sense, right? I mean, it's a late night for those umpires in New York.
And here comes a call. And a call of safe. So a successful challenge for the Giants. And a stolen base for Matt Duffy. He doesn't run often, but when he does run, he is successful. He's 4 for 4. Puts him in scoring position for Hunter Pence. 1 minute 32 seconds on the challenge. Now 1-2 to Pence. 2 runs is tough enough. Blazek needs to strand that runner at second base. Pence into center field. Gomez coming in. He's got it for the out.
Well, you got 3 left-handers coming up now, and Will Smith not getting loose. So Craig Counsell going to stay with his right-hander, Michael Blazek. Belt, Crawford, Aoki.
Two gone for Brandon Belt. 4-2 Giants, and that one misses away. Rock, a number of reports are coming in, including from our own Ken Rosenthal, that Troy Tulowitzki has been traded to the Blue Jays. So when teams say a guy is untouchable,
they don't really mean it.
They don't really mean that. Everybody has his price. Well, that could change things in the American League East. Toronto right now 7 games back of the Yankees.
Yeah, they're at 500, 50 and 50.
One ball, one strike. And Blazek misses away.
Reports much different than actual trades.
That's a good point. But it is coming in from multiple sources that it is a done deal. So that's about all we should say about that.
Twitter?
Foul ball by Belt. Yeah, Twitter, and Ken Rosenthal is and John Heyman. Those will be the sources that I see. What does Bill Schroeder say?
I don't know. I'm not on Twitter right now. I can't get my password. I forgot it.
But the Phantom Tweeter has not.
Yeah, right.
So it's very much active and alive.
People. I have people.
Two, 2 outs. And Belt takes one low. Good take. Breaking ball from Blazek. Now the count is 3-2. Trade deadline coming up Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern. Deal's got to be done by then. There's going to be a lot of activity, it figures, this year. So many teams are in contention. Payoff pitch coming from Blazek. And he got him. Called strike 3. Belt not happy with the call, but down he goes. Blazek strands a runner at second base. 9th inning, Brewers down 2. Book your stay now. It's a beautiful Monday night, San Francisco, AT Park. Brewers would love to send them home sad here. They're down 2 though, and the Giants have their closer on. Sergio Romo. Carlos Gomez leading off.
Santiago Garcia, ordinarily the closer. He's got 26 saves this year, but
wow, that gets by Belt, and it's thrown away. Panic came over. Ball had a lot of English on it. And Gomez will reach.
Yeah, right off the end of the bat. That's that frisbee slider that Romo features. He throws a lot of them right off the end of the bat. Goes right through Brandon Bell. It looked like Panic had a shot at him. Didn't have to be so quick with the throw and threw it away. So a break for the Brewers. Well, they get their leadoff hitter aboard. That brings the tying run to home plate.
That's Gomez's. All right, well, it's not a hit. They're going to rule that as an error. I was going to say his first career hit against Sergio Romo. He had been 0 for 9 with 8 strikeouts. And now a power hitter at the plate. Man at first, tying run. There goes Gomez. He takes off, throw to second, and safe. And this one might go to review. We'll see. Bochy's coming out to give his review staff a chance to look at it.
That's risky. And taking off in that situation. Your run doesn't mean a whole lot. Looks like Panic got him on the leg. Question is, does Gomez have his hand in there? It's going to be close.
And it will go to a challenge here, right there. Wow, that
looks like he might be out.
Yeah, that's bang bang.
And that's a risky play by Carlos Gomez, because if you're the tying run, that's different. It looks like they got him.
Yeah. Well, this is probably going to be overturned as well. Tag there.
That's closer than it looks, right? I mean, different angles give you a different picture. And we'll see what they decide in New York.
Let's see if we can freeze it here. Contact on the leg is there, and Gomez's hand not on the bag.
Hey, down by 2 runs, you better be sure you're going to be able to make it, and calling the field is safe. Is there enough to overturn it?
Jerry Davis says out. 2 that have gone in the Giants' favor, and a costly out at second base. And now Gomez fires his helmet down, which incites this crowd even more. And I think Jerry Davis is coming over. He might have thrown him out. Eject him? I think he did.
Maybe he threw him out.
I think Davis ejected.
Either that or an equipment violation, which is just a fine.
No, I think he threw him out. He's telling him to go, and Craig Counsell's out for an explanation.
Well, he let him go the first time. He fired his helmet down at second base when the call was reversed. And he threw it down harder right there, and I guess he threw him out.
And I think Counsell is going to be next, and out he goes. First ejection for Craig Counsell. And he and Gomez will both exit stage right. Gomez is still hanging around the dugout. I can't imagine that Counsell would go out there if it was an equipment violation.
Yeah, they're waiting for Gomez to leave.
Well, now Gomez.
I think Carlos is, I don't know. I mean, you can understand him being upset. Number one, getting thrown out. I mean, in that situation, you know, the tying run at the plate, and Carlos is going to take as much time as he can.
Just got to go here, Carlos. Just got to go. Because now, the longer you stand there, the more. Now you're starting to bring in a suspension. There's no reason at this point to hang around. So, back
again,
to play.
That's a situation. If you take off, you better make it. If you're to bring the tying run to the plate, and he gets thrown out, I think maybe he's equally upset at himself as the reversal of the call at second base.
That's the one thing about review, though. There's nothing really to argue.
No,
I mean, he was out.
Yeah, he was. So I guess you got to be mad at yourself, if anything, right?
One and two to Davis. By the way, Casilla with saves in back-to-back games over the weekend. So Bochy going with Romo, his closer for the night. With a 2-run lead. Little cue shot. That looks like it's coming back fair. Oh, it just missed the bag and a foul ball. Boy, that had some serious spin on it.
Yeah, Romo had some big closing years for the Giants, lost his job, but he has closed the game this year. He's got one. That came on July 18th against Arizona.
One and two to Davis. And he got him. A strikeout for Romo.
And it's the release point. You know, the speed, because that wasn't even a good slider. It stayed on the middle part of the plate, and Davis just out in front of it. Check it out. It's not where he wanted it. Watch where Posey has to reach back all the way across the plate. And Chris just came up empty.
Brewers down to their last out. Scooter Gennett needing a base runner here. 4-2 Giants. And that one's in the gap. Left center field. That's going to get down. Scooter on his way to second base. Throw comes in late, and it's a 2-out double, and the Brewers still breathing here in this ninth inning. First hit of the night for Gennett.
And doing a nice job waiting back. It's a two-seam fastball, that sinker that Sergio Romo left upstairs. Doesn't throw as many of those frisbee sliders to left-handers as he does to righties. That slider's been his out pitch for many years.
Gene Segura. Tying run at the plate, and a swing and a miss. Carlos Gomez, Craig Counsell ejected here in this ninth inning. It's been a weekend of frustration for the Brewers, turning into a Monday night of frustration, but still at it. Down to their last strike, and 40,000 strong back on their feet at AT&T Park. just stayed alive.
I just wonder if Romo is willing to try and bust him inside. Everything's been away. All sliders, all away. And Segura protecting that outside corner. Let's see if Romo wants to try one on the inside part of the plate, a fastball.
Romo, second in the National League in holds, a stat for setup relievers. He has been tough on the Brewers throughout his career. An ERA just over 1. 0-2 pitch. Segura just stays alive again. You could pretty well bank on the fact that Romo is not going to work inside in a spot like this.
I'd rather give up the single as opposed to the home run.
Got a left-handed hitter due next. Brewers would love to get Peterson up to the plate. That would mean the go-ahead run would bat. But it's Romo's game because there is nobody warming in the Giants bullpen. 0-2 pitch again in the dirt, gets by Posey. That actually hit off the home plate umpire. That'll be a wild pitch. Jeanette to third base.
Not exactly textbook by Buster Posey right here.
That's more of an evacuation by the home plate
Pull the
umpire.
shoot. It's not hitting me.
Home plate umpire says thanks a lot, man. 1-2 now. Segura trying to deliver in the clutch. Romo from the stretch. And Segura pops it foul and out of play. He's giving him a good battle.
Even able to cover off the outside corner with the way Romo is just continually throwing that pitch away. Everything away, nothing even close to the inside part of the plate. And make a mistake away, you give up a single. You make a mistake in, it might tie the game.
Here comes another 2-strike pitch. Yeah, way outside. Segura's good in spots like this. He can shorten up. He's good going to right field. He's trying to move the line, get Jeanette in, or at least get on base and get Peterson a chance to do some damage. Had him 0-2. Now it's 2-2 after a number of foul balls. Got him. Struck him out to end the game. And the Giants win it. They have won 7 straight against the Brewers going back to last season. And the Brewers drop another one on this road trip. Just one win on the road trip for Milwaukee after being shut out in both games over the weekend. The Brewers have lost 3 straight. The Giants have won 6 in a row, and now 12 of their last 13. They are just a half game back of the Dodgers in the National League West. Jamie standing by in our Fox Sports Wisconsin studios. She's ready for Brewers Live. Take it away, Jamie.